Here is the third video of the writing task 1 of the IELTS writing test.
Okay, in this script we have a table. First, let's look at the word count. Word count comes in at 181 words. A little bit lengthy, but nothing too terrible. Let's see what's going on here. So we've got 5 countries, and the table gives us the gross national product and 1982 terms, calorie intake, or calorie supply rather. I guess that's the same as intake. Life expectancy and infant mortality rates. Aspects of quality of life. There's no overview. The writer didn't include an overview, so automatically task achievement, you're limited to a 5. It doesn't matter how good the rest of the writing is, you can only get a 5 for that. Okay, so let's see if they cover the main features at least. USA had the highest GMP and daily calorie intake. The longest life expectancy. Okay, so the writer is putting the USA in its own category because it stands out from the other ones. Egypt, Indonesia, and Bolivia were similar in the 4 indicators. Okay, so he's putting these countries in their own group, and Bangladesh is in paragraph 3 because it has the lowest figures. As a whole, Egypt had the highest quality of life. Okay. So it's not mechanical. If you look at the band descriptor, it says recounts details mechanically. No clear overview. I wouldn't say it's mechanical, because there is some analysis happening here in this sentence. I don't know why countries is capitalized, but okay. And there's a little bit of analysis here, which was slightly lower than that of Egypt and that of Bolivia. So, not quite mechanical, but with no overview, you really have a ceiling of 5 for task achievement. So I'm not going to go through the rest. 5 it is. Okay, let's see if they can do a little bit better with coherence and cohesion. Okay, so in 1982, its GMP was $13,160, but its infant mortality rate was only 12 per 1,000 live births. I don't know why but is used here, because you are not contrasting a positive and a negative. This is a positive, and this is also a positive. So why use but? Okay, we have some reference in here. It's referring to Egypt. It's GMP. Ooh, whereas. Okay, so here, whereas is used correctly to contrast. The figures in terms of what we have. Okay, so nothing too terrible. Yeah, probably a 6 for coherence and cohesion. There are some faulty cohesive devices that were used. In terms of vocabulary, let's see. Daily calorie intake, daily calorie supply. Okay, so it's a little bit of a paraphrase here. Life expectancy, well, It's very difficult to paraphrase that, so that's fine to use the same phrase. Lowest infant mortality rate. Yeah, see, these phrases, if you just copy them from here, I think in this particular instance, that's okay. Egypt, Indonesia, and Bolivia were similar in the 4 indicators. Had similar numbers, not were similar in the 4 indicators. So there's some faulty vocabulary used here. Oh, see, the problem is this person uses very little vocabulary that's not taken from here. Because we just have this slightly lower. See, all of this, except perhaps the word indicator. Indicator is not taken from the table. But see, everything else is just from the table. Oh, tables can be difficult to write about. Figure. Okay. So, adequate range. But there's not much original vocabulary used. Too much is taken from the prompt and from the actual table. Let's move on to look at grammar. Okay, so we would expect to see the past tense, since this is from apparently 1982. Okay, so we have the past tense here, past tense here. Okay, so this is a compound sentence but used with an incorrect conjunction. We had a problem here with this word. Past tense, Egypt had, it had, its GNP was. Starting to see a pattern here. Were, why is this capitalized? Was, it's repetitive. Had, was, were. It's too much repetition. Let's see. A mix. Well, possibly, but the range is too limited. It's too many of the same structures. So for grammar, 5. Okay, here's our next script. These charts showing radio and television. Let's look at the word count. It comes in at 202 words. A little bit lengthy. But let's see. The graph below shows radio and television audience throughout the day in 1992. The axis here tells us percentage of UK population over 4 years old. We have radio, we have television, and then we have the times of the day from 6 to 6. Let's look at the overview. The graph shows the percentage of the UK population over the age of 4 that listened to radio and watched television throughout the day in 1992. Throughout the day, oh my goodness, everything is copied from here and here. Now why would you do that? Okay, so paraphrase, not copy. So an overview is given, but everything is copied directly from the information given to you here in the prompt. Problem. Okay, let's see. There was a slight increase in the number of TV audiences. I see this. The number of TV audiences. Is that what the graph shows? TV audiences. The number of TV audiences. There's only one TV audience. The audience is the number of people watching television. So there can be a number of people watching television, but there's only one audience. So this is a faulty phrase. They're using incorrect phrases to describe the information given. There's only one audience. From 3% at 6 a.m. What? 3% to 6 a.m. Is this 3%? This is television. How is this 3? It's more like 8. To about 7% at 8 a.m. I don't understand. Where did these numbers come from? These numbers are incorrect. From 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. it remained stable. From 8 a.m. Am I reading this right? Why are these numbers all wrong? From 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. it remained almost stable. Now how is this stable? It drops. I don't understand. After that, the number of TV audiences rose sharply until 8 p.m. Okay, well that's correct. I can see there's a rise. Peaking at a little over 40%. Is this right? Yeah, 40%. From then, the number fell rapidly until 6 a.m. the next morning. Yeah, but fell to what? There's no percentage given. Unlike television, the number of radio audiences, again, audiences, there's only one audience for radio, increased rapidly from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. From what to what? What's the number? This is the 3%, I think. But they don't give us the data. At 8 a.m. it reached its highest point at nearly 30%. What? I think this person is misreading information all the way through. Because this is not 30%, is it? 8 a.m., 3%? This is more like 8 again. And then for the rest of the day, the number dropped gradually. No, why? It increases. With a slight increase from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. No, I don't see that either. Before 2 p.m., the number of people listening to the radio was larger than that of people watching TV. Before 2 p.m. No, that's not true. The radio audience is smaller than the television audience throughout the whole day. It's roughly equal here. Oh, here there's a bit of a cross here. But 2 p.m. No, it comes close, but it doesn't exceed the number. However, for the rest of the day, much more UK audiences chose to watch TV rather than listen to radio. As a whole, throughout the day, the average numbers... Well, isn't this exactly the same thing you're saying twice? Okay, so this is not a great example. Let's see. I think 5 is too generous. Unfortunately, I don't have a 4 here. Generally addresses the task. I think I need to... Unfortunately, I don't have the 4 here. No, this is too bad. It can't get a 5. It's got to get a 4 for task achievement. Just too many inaccuracies. This person has way too many figures wrong. Let's see if they can do better in coherence and cohesion. There was a slight increase, and there, blah, blah, blah. It remained, okay, so there's some referencing there to the audiences. After that, okay, I guess that refers to the time. From then, the number, okay, so there's some referencing there. Unlike television, okay, so that's a good phrase. Good word to use. Increased rapidly. It reached its highest point. The number dropped gradually. Okay. I looked at a 6. Yeah, why not? 6. But, oof. Task achievement was so bad. 4. So we have 4 and now we have a 6. Let's look at the vocabulary. Okay, this number of TV audiences, this is a problem. It remained almost stable. I don't know how something can be almost stable. Either it's stable or it's not. Now, peaking at a little over 40%. This participle used here, this is good. On television, increase rapidly. Okay, so the past tense is used accurately. Fell, dropped. Before on 2 p.m. Okay, so because we have this time, so here we have a little bit of a mix. It's large and people just much for the rest of the day. Much more UK audiences. Okay, there's a problem here. Much more UK audiences. Okay, so the audience for television was bigger, not much more audiences. Audiences was larger. Audiences here plural again. Okay, so there are some problems with the words they use, but does it impede communication? Not really. Is there an attempt to use less common vocabulary? Is there an attempt to use, well, not really. The words here are all pretty standard. The radio. Why is it the radio? Why is there an article there? I would say I would say because the range is so limited, probably a 5 for vocabulary. And the grammar, I think I talked about the grammar already. So overall, not a great piece of writing here.